Hello, hello. Hey, Barbara, welcome. Just letting people in, and of course, our AI friends. So we have a lot of note takers here. So we will be starting in just a moment. Let's give everybody an opportunity to join so that we have everybody here on board. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Anthony. Good to have you here, guys. We will be kicking off in just a minute. So I'm super excited about today's topic. For those of you who know me, I'm big on AI search. For those of you who don't know me, I am big on AI search. And I have been running the trainings like this for some time. And the topic for our today's discussion is measurement of success in AI search. Before we jump to all the tools, and I will be openly sharing all the toolkit that I am using in my work, and the tools that we have used for delivering the AI search services to B2B clients. That's the primary segment we work with. So it's going to be a very open and practical session today. Before we jump in, I'd like to encourage you to ask questions. So there's going to be like a more intro part where we talk a little bit about how AI search is different from the rest of the channels that we have. Yeah, but during the practical part, feel free to jump in, feel free to ask questions, because I want this session to be super useful and super valuable for you. And for context, my name is Liudmila. I am CEO and founder of Rampiq Agency. I have built the Bertology.ai, the tool that we will be using today to track LLMs, see inside brands. I have designed the AI search visibility program for B2B brands. We have been delivering this program for over 18 months, mostly for B2B tech, SaaS and platform as a service PaaS brands. And recently I joined Amadora.ai as a co-founder, and now I am building, literally as we speak, the AI search optimization platform. So my career was heavily focused on SEO, digital marketing, paid ads for B2B brands. And when AI came into play, I saw it as the biggest opportunity ever. And now Rampiq is officially the AI first and AI forward digital marketing agency. As I'm wearing all those hats, I do see how the market and how the trends are going. And now this is the shift that it's really, really hard to ignore. The B2B discovery has changed, and most often we found ourselves through, and I've been around the block for some time, optimizing for Google, for search engines. But most recently, more and more, we have to optimize for AI search, because those are not search engines, they are decision engines. So the shortlisting and a few of the recent research indicates that the 80% of B2B buyers consult AI or use AI tools during vendor selection and bidding, and it's a very high percentage. And also the problem that I see for the market is that we don't have the tools, we don't have the traditional SEO dashboards, or like they're very old. They don't give us the visibility how AI perceive our brands, how exactly we can measure it as marketers, and how exactly we can use the insights to drive decisions on what to do next. It was a typical problem back in the day when mobile devices kicked in, and people started to use websites from the completely new environment, like on the screen the size of a palm, compared to the previous computer screens. Nobody knew what people were doing, how to optimize for that for some time. It's roughly the same in the AI search space now, where we know it exists, we know everybody's using it in our niche, in our segment, but we still don't know quite yet how to measure it and what to do with the metrics that we see. So today we will be talking about the change and the AI search in general, what it is and how to read the metrics. And I'll also be showing the tools and the practical approach, how we currently implement the measurement framework that we designed for B2B and SaaS companies that we typically serve at Rampiq as an agency. So again, expect the practical hands-on session today, very straightforward to us, and I am convinced that we will have a really good, really valuable conversation going down the line. So when we reach the practical part, feel free to ask any questions, and also if anything that I'm saying, all the content resonates, we will definitely give you ways to interact with us, with me and my team after the webinar, if you're going to be interested in learning more what we are doing as a course of the AI search program delivery. So, measurement. For a very, very long time, we have been optimizing for 10 blue links, for search engines, for being ranking #1, keywords, impressions, sessions, conversions, everything from Google search to the lead in the pipeline. That has been the goal and the target. However, AI is different. AI world, LLM, large language model systems, they introduced different behavior patterns and also different buying investigation patterns. Now, they don't care if you rank #1, mostly. Well, for AI overviews, it may matter, but for ChatGPT, nope, not really. And what they do care about is how clearly you are represented as a brand, how they can figure out if the entity is concise, and how easily they can categorize and cluster you with the relevant information around your competitors. So the positioning, the cohesive, consistent digital footprint has become a very important, not ranking, but citation and recommendation factor. This is how AI is very different from what we all used to measure. And a lot of things happen before clicks now. Mentions within the AI search answers, or even the search function isn't enabled in your interaction with ChatGPT. Appearances in AI overviews with the zero-click environment on Google, a lot of things has changed. So now we need to understand what exactly we need to measure and how to do it in the practical and meaningful way. So we need to understand how AI sees our brand, what it knows about us first. Then we need to understand how and where we appear in those conversations or have very high probability to appear in those conversations. And when we are mentioned, what's the context and how consistent our positioning is over time. Was next to impossible 12 months ago or so, but with the appearances of new tools and the new toolkit that I will be presenting to you today, we will be going really deep into those new measurement techniques and insights now available to us. Now it is quite possible. Still, the disclaimer here is that the framework is relatively new, and still a few terminology things exist, and things can be named differently across different sources and tools. But today we will be looking at a few very, very important places and spaces where we need now to measure what's going on in our AI search. I see familiar faces here. Alex, thank you for joining. Vlad, good to see you again. Tim, always good to see you. You know, that's kind of like that part, but I also see a lot of new faces here. So let me walk you through the use cases of AI search first, and then we will look into the tools and into the techniques, how we're going to be measuring our visibility and our AI presence in each use case. So, in a nutshell, LLMs have two parts, two brains. One of them is the frozen memory, something that they know from the training data. And the biggest caveat here is that training data can be very old, up to 6 or 12 months now with most recent OpenAI models. But depending on the tools of your choice and depending on the environment you are using to communicate with AI, that knowledge can be very outdated. So if you have had a product launch, or if you rebranded, went through mergers and acquisitions, or had a new service on the line, it may be well misrepresented in AI because they just simply wouldn't know that you did it. So when we look at the AI environment, it's always important to know that there is that space, the AI memory space, which is frozen and outdated. And if we know how we are presented in the memory, now we can start building our understanding about the gaps that exist between the memory knowledge. And the second use case is the augmented AI answers, where the search function is enabled. So in your experience with ChatGPT, in 60% of the cases, unless you are like a very advanced in or nerdy, which is always a good thing, you wouldn't even notice if the search function was used or not until you explicitly ask the AI to use it. The recent research showed that around 60% of conversations within ChatGPT do not have search function enabled. It means that for those kind of like frozen memory responses, frozen memory answers, it is super important for us to understand first where we are in the memory space, and then which citations, when we let the model search for information about our brand, which citations, which content from the out there, from the live result, was pulled by the model when we are asking about the brand or certain things, solution, product, or service. So think about it this way. First, the model will start with its memory, and unless explicitly asked to do the live search. When the live search function is enabled, it will surface the knowledge about the brand, the product, the service, whatever the context of the conversation is. And when that information is brought back, the model will match it and blend it with the frozen memory information. So this is how they think about the world. And the key takeaway here is that we need to understand what the model knows, what ChatGPT knows about our brand from the memory. And then when we look at the citations, what exactly was surfaced? Why those certain things appeared about our brand? Where exactly, for which keywords the searches were, and where that information was taken? It is super important for us marketers from the standpoint of making the practical and data-driven decisions. Now we can source that information, and now we can actually get it about our brand. I'll show you how in the practical section of our today's training. But for now, do you guys give me a thumbs up if everything that I'm saying makes sense? Your tracking is not too fast. Everything good? You can use the reaction here. Okay. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, team. Yes, perfect, awesome. So for Anthony, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. And yeah, thank you so much. Let's keep going then. For the third and very important use case that we are reviewing next, it's the Google AI overviews. Those are the AI-generated answers that sit on top of the search results in now over 85% of the searches. Whatever you ask Google right now, chances are eight out of 10, you'll see those AI-generated answers. What it means to us: no traffic, less clicks. Why? Because Google has been behind that AI and Gen AI, GEO, generative engine optimization race for some time. And those AI-generated answers, they are already monetized, so there are ads in them. It's already happening. It has been happening for a while, actually. But what it means to us as the marketers is the organic search results, the blue links that we've been fighting for so long, are now in the second or third scroll. So unless you're visible in AI overviews with your brand and your content, you do occupy the sub-retail space there. But typically, if you're not mentioned there, if your brand isn't present in AI overviews, chances are that you will never be seen, even if you're ranking high on the on Google results, even on the first page. Personally, I stopped scrolling. and clicking. Even me being like in that niche and in that profession for some time, saying nothing about people from other niches and other backgrounds, because I'm looking how my family and friends, how they are using Google right now, and that's a very, very different experience to what we have been optimizing for so long. So for Google AI overviews, you do need to have some authority, some SEO authority. You need to have the structured content. You need to have some topical authority. So SEO isn't dead yet, but the user experience on the search engine pages, this is what changed. What it means to us, we need to know whether we appear in AI overviews or not. And if yes, for which keywords, and if we know the keywords, which content is actually triggering those highly visible mentions. Why? Because if we know that, we can optimize for it, and we can search for more keywords and for more content opportunities to rank in Google AI overviews. So before we jump to the practical part, if any of that sounds confusing, if you need more detail or you need to practical application to be done for your brand, I encourage you to use the link that my wonderful colleague Nina will post in the chat and schedule a call with us. I'm very approachable. I'm very open to walking you through those changes, how everything works, what it means for your particular brand. We do have the framework of the live brand audits. We actually had a great session last time where we audited different brands of the webinar, playing participants live. I'm super happy to apply it to your brand and walk you through how exactly you are presented in all the 3 use cases, and have a good conversation about where you stand and what to do next. So this is one of the ways to interact with us. We will give you an opportunity to do that later, but I wanted to point out that if any of the AI search space or terminology or things for your brand causes you questions, I am more likely to have answers. So please be sure to book some time with me and my team if you feel it's relevant to you. Now, the fun part. The measurement framework. A little bit of a academic background here. I do have some data science background, and I happened to train the model even if before they become the mainstream, before the first OpenAI ChatGPT 1 model was released. So we do have a few things that are different when it comes to AI compared to traditional measurement. We need to take into account the qualitative aspect of it. So not everything on AI can be quantified. Yes, we can do some numbers, and we can do some labeling around the data that we see there. But the main difference right now between the traditional measurement framework is that qualitative component that we will be talking a lot about. Models are very good predictors. They are really bad calculators. So everything that you see on the native AI search environment, the dialogues and everything that's happening within the ChatGPT and conversations, that's where the difference kick in. I'll show you how to measure it. I'll show you how to read those signals, but that's a very important difference that we will need to take into account. And yes, search environment still matters, and yes, the pipeline environment still matters. So let's dive in. The first thing that we will be looking at will be your brand perception. And we talked a little bit about the memory mode and live mode. So peeking under the hood, looking into the memory information and memory understanding of how your brand is presented, that's the first and most important thing. So let me show you how to use Bertology, the tool that I have built to answer exactly this question. I will be using my brand, for example, and I want to demonstrate how the memory perception, we will look at the memory report right now, is different from what models know when the search function is enabled. So at the very beginning, I introduced Rampiq as the digital marketing agency focused on AI search. And fortunate or not, this is what memory report has about me. Digital marketing agency. Thanks for that. Specialized SEO and PPC services. Yes, but it is very outdated positioning. Clients in enhancing their online presence and driving measurable growth, not a sign of a B2B component. But when we look at the live audit results, this is where things become really interesting. First, it does know the year of foundation. Now we have the IT and sales businesses. And now we have the B2B aspect here in place. Still no knowledge about the AI search component that we now very heavily promote and actually have on our own website and all over our digital assets. However, now I can look at where exactly that knowledge was coming from. And by the way, we can look at the competitors here as well. And I can see which websites participated in the model's answer about what my brand is and what we do. So in this particular case, we do have that comparison, we do have that gap that we can start to cover. And the practical aspect of it for me will be to review all those sources that the model pulled up for my particular brand presentation and see if the information there is up to date. So for the time when the next search is happening, I do know and I do understand that the certain information, the certain sources have been updated and now have that AI search positioning component in them. So for the live and memory audits, that's where the interesting things can happen and the discovery begins. However, if we are to dive deeper into how the whole thing works, now we need to understand how our authority and how our brands have been perceived by AI on the next level within the LLMs. And let me show you the tool that I started to use quite recently, but that's where, and for the full disclosure, I am a co-founder here. I know how this tool works. I know exactly how it operates. And this is why I can be very confidently sharing it with you and all the metrics and everything, because I know what's under the hood here. But now this is a new environment for us. And let me walk you through what's available to us as marketers, as brand managers in this new world. The tool is called Amadora.ai, and there is a free trial available there. You can safely use it and upload your brand. But the level of insight here is quite amazing. First, we have a few metrics that we can now track over time. That's the visibility score, the share of voice, and average positions. And this nice dashboard gives me the understanding of where I stand compared to my competitors, but also what sort of share of voice do I have and where exactly I am being cited and being ranked in AI answers. Now, the best next question is like, what exactly we are tracking? Let's take a look. Here, I am tracking three very important prompt groups. They are important to me as the business owner, as the agency owner, because I do want to know the generic prompts, like the demand gen agency, B2B, PPC management agency, and SEO, because I'm still perceived as a provider of those services. Then I have the branded terms and prompts, and you can see that I am setting this up as an open question to AI, like, tell me everything about Rampiq agency. That's very similar to memory versus live exercise that we just did, but now I'll show you how the level of insight goes really deeper here. And also AI search, super important line of business in line of services to me. And I do want to understand how AI perceives that emerging segment and who AI can be compared and ranked for. So when we look at it from my business perspective, I can see that I have some generic prompts to track, more of like open questions. I do have some branded ones, which is super important to me for the brand perception purposes. And I do have my flagship service right here, where I can dive deeper and see who my competitors are. Before I jump any further, because we will be going deeper into what we see in here with some comments and insights. How is the content so far? Give me a thumbs up if you guys receive value. Yes, Nancy, go for it. Yes, good. I can see it. Anthony, perfect. Kelsey, thank you. Barbara, thank you so much. So, Lindsay, awesome. Alex, thank you. So, for the understanding of, let me show you two things. And this is kind of like the part where I'm getting very excited. So that's the knowledge that is relatively new for the market and new for the brand. So guys, if you feel like the first adopters here, you're not wrong, you are. So let me show you how to read this data in a very practical way. So let's take a look at my brand through the lens of this prompt. Tell me everything about Rampiq agency. So we are looking at the 7 days data, and I can filter the answers by ChatGPT, Perplexity, and the AI overviews. And this is the list of things here looks familiar. We did see the clutch and the LinkedIn and the source of the AI answers in the live audit on Bertology, but the level of depths that we currently can get is, in the level of insights is way better when we track them over time. So as you can see, we have the dates here, and they will make more sense when we look at the slightly less branded prompt. But let's see if we can get ChatGPT answer. So for every run, for every prompt, for every date, I can actually see what was pulled by the model, which is super helpful. And remember the level of detail, like when you're enabling the search function on ChatGPT, you will have those keywords that the model will use. They're called fan out queries. And this is where a lot of insights can happen. For the branded queries, it's not that obvious, but I still wanted to show it to you. Like those search queries are actual keywords that ChatGPT used when searching for my brand. And now we can see that I am being perceived as the B2B agency, growth engines, mostly that's taken from my website. Hey, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. In the real-time searchers now, I can now see if my positioning is being displayed correctly. And if I want to see what exactly was pulled, that's where things actually came from in that particular answer. Interestingly enough, this is a very diverse combination of sources. You can see my own website, that's my icon, and I can see which particular pages participated in generating that answer. Crunchbase, no wonder here. But this is one of the things, this is one of the partner tools that some time ago we did an extended testimonial, like a case study with them. Now they've been cited everywhere. I never knew that giving the feedback to in the form of a case study can give me that many AI citations, for example. That was one of the insights that I recently generated while looking at the data in this tool. So let me also show you the less branded but very important part. So that's the AI search services. That's what we do. That's where I would like to be found and ranked. And the prompt is very simple. The branding here, and I'm nowhere, like not nowhere. I do have some rankings for that particular prompt. But what's interesting to me from the practical perspective will be to actually take a look at the Google AI overviews. It will be interesting for me to see which particular articles or listicles, and that's very common partner right now, have been pulled by Google. And for example, if I'd like to compare how ChatGPT was using citations and where exactly those prompts appeared, that's going to be a very different comparison to me. So from the practical perspective, what it means for businesses, I will go to Nina, who is the digital growth marketing manager at my agency. We will sit down with her and we will take those insights and we will incorporate them into the next round of content planning. We will look at what exactly was cited, and I will talk to Nina and I will talk to my team about about two very important things. I will talk about the content planning. That's exactly what we do for our clients, and this is how exactly we implement the knowledge. We look at what was cited, what was ranked in the AI models in Google AI overviews, and we pinpoint exactly the opportunities where we can improve the content planning, but also it opens up great opportunities for me to do the link building in a smart way. So when we go to sources and citations here, you can see that we have accumulated the data over time, and I can now see all of the citations, all the things that have been used in AI answers. And what's beautiful about Amadora is that I can group them, for example, for my AI search topic, which is super important to me. And now, again, this is super practical. If I want to drop my brand mentions on Reddit, I can see where exactly the discussions are. I don't need to guess. This the information that's readily available to me. Also, if I'd like to do the any filtering for any other topic, I will be very quick in getting the insights that will define where my link building budgets and effort will go. So that's a really high-level walkthrough of Amadora can do. Like the tool can give you way deeper insights that we have just reviewed. So we are just scratching the surface here. But I wanted to make a point that now we have the next level of measurement and the next level of tools available to us. And this is how you can use Amadora platform to start driving insights and also accumulating them over time. So that's where you can see how the specific things are evolving. You can see how citations go date by date, and how the LLMs change the sources over time. I personally noticed a lot of volatility in some answers between the ChatGPT prompts in like a week or two, which was very interesting. How the new surface, how the new citations were pulled up compared to the previous searches done for the same prompt, and that broadens my perspective in terms of like where LLMs take information about my brand and my services. And again, this is super helpful and super useful for my effort planning. Same framework applies to the AI search program principles that we have, and all of our clients in our portfolio get the same level of insights and get the same level of visibility into how they're currently presented in AI answers and what's being cited and why. So for that particular part, do you guys have any questions? Do you want me to go back to any of the things that we saw so far? Maybe you would like me to show you another prompt. So feel free to drop a question in the chat, or if it's comfortable for you, you can unmute yourself and ask those questions so that we can dive deeper here if you'd like it to. You can pick another prompt. You can, or if there was something in particular on the screen that you want to revisit or review, let me know, because I know that's a little bit of a new environment. Yeah, certain things can be confusing, but I'm here for you to help you understand the level of insights and walk you through any questions that you might have here. Oh, everything is clear. So everybody's already setting up the projects on Amadora. That's what you should be doing after this after this part, I guess. So getting back to more traditional search environment, I still wanted to talk to you about the AI overviews and how we can measure them. Why? Because as me being super excited about the new tools and the new environments, Google still has the biggest market share, and Barbara, awesome. That's exactly the outcome that I want. Super practical and hands-on. Yay! Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for your feedback, and but stay with us for a while, for another couple of minutes, because we will be talking about AI overviews and how to track and measure them, apart from Amadora capabilities. Let me get back to more kind of like a traditional environment here, and we will be looking at how we can identify which keywords are triggering AI overviews. Again, I'll be using my brand as an example, and in that particular case, we will be using Ahrefs. That's Ahrefs or SEMrush. Those are the more familiar tools that we typically use in our work, and there are a few things that changed in those tools over time. But I wanted to show you how we can identify the keywords that are currently bringing us rankings in AI overviews. We will be looking at my brand, and this little star here indicates for that particular keyword, my brand is being mentioned in AI overview. So you can see that I am having like quite a few stars here. So let's see how we can quickly filter them so that we can have a better understanding of where exactly I am ranking. Let's filter out the overviews and take a look at them. So we are looking at today's date, but the thing that I wanted to highlight, and you can see that we've been working on our content. Now we have a few AI overviews appearances, more than we had a few months ago. And that's exactly the traction that we are building for our clients, the part of AI search program that we have been implementing since August 2024, since the AI overviews actually appeared. That was the major trigger for us to start looking into the direction of AI search rather than pure SEO back then. So now I have a clear list of keywords for which my content, and I know exactly what content, is currently ranked in AI overviews. The caveat here is that Ahrefs, for some of the data that they have, they don't update it too often. So sometimes what happens is that this particular report can have quite a bit of an outdated information. So what we want to see here is the status quo. So how many AI overviews I currently have, where exactly I'm ranking. But what's the most important part here is the pages that are pulling me into those AI overviews, in those AI generated answers. Now I know what kind of content Google understands as worthy including into those AI overviews. And this is my North Star. This is my kind of like guiding principle of what to write next, or what kind of format to use, what should be the necessary elements of those articles that are already my winners. I'm looking at my list of winners here. And if I'd like to make more wins, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to rinse, repeat, and enhance. So for AI overviews, that's a relatively easy way to identify them, with the caveat that not all of the AI overviews that you currently have will be present here, because those tools, more traditional tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush, are lagging behind a little bit in identifying those AI overviews at scale. But still, you can get some information about the content and the content formats that are more likely to be included in the AI overviews, and take it from there. So the last but not least, and we are talking about the framework, so that's a lot of things that I'm sharing today, is the best part, traffic and pipeline. So knowing everything that we know so far, knowing that we can look under the hood of the memory-based and live reports, knowing that tools like Amadora that's helping us to understand the citations and what exactly is happening there, knowing that certain content is more likely to trigger AI overviews, how do we connect it with traffic and pipeline? That's the my $1 million question that we often get from the management and the stakeholders, and specifically like C-level of the company. All right, you showed us this whole, but where are my leads and where is my pipeline here? Good news is that we do have the Google Analytics to track the AI hits to our content. It's a more traditional way to measure the effectiveness of the real, like, bottom line, hardcore results that we can justify in any of the traditional dashboard framework. But also, this is one of the recent things that Ahrefs, beg your pardon, HubSpot introduced. Now we can track the AI sources directly in HubSpot CRM. I have a screenshot here that's a little bit of a sensitive data, but that's exactly how I got a lead that was driven to me to our CRM at Rampiq through the Case IQ case study. This is our AI overviews case study, where we generated 800 plus AI overviews mentions over the course of just a few months. And we worked primarily with the existing content library. That's the beauty of the AI search program, where you don't need to create new content all the time. You can get a lot of value from your existing content library. And that is where all the dots are connected in my books, because I'm pushing the AI search services for me, for Rampiq as a brand. I am promoting that content, I'm creating that content, I'm working with my clients to put together the case studies. And this is the bottom of the funnel proof that that particular tactics or set of tactics strategy actually behind it, it's working. Now I can clearly see it, and I can show it to you, I can show it to everyone, that my case studies have been featured on ChatGPT and they are generating me leads. So bringing this all together, and I see, and Anthony, I see your question, and I'll get back to you right, like just in a few seconds. We will have time for Q&A. Bringing this all together, now we have a combination of traditional tools like our CRMs, Google Analytics, and the new generation of tools like Amadora and Bertology that can help us bring that cohesive understanding of how LLMs perceive our brand from memory and from live research, and how exactly those citations are being built, from which sources, from which particular websites or mentions or listicles, and how our competitors are being cited, where, in which conversations we appear, and with what kind of positioning and sentiment. So knowing all that that's available to us and being like at the frontier of those measurement techniques, that's where we are setting ourselves up for success. And if you'd like me to go over where you stand, if you'd like to get clarity for your brand, where stand AI search and what to do next, I encourage you to schedule some time with me and Nina. We will go over the same framework, but apply it to your brand, and I'll walk you through your particular insights so that you can see for yourself what's available to you in your particular situation, and we can discuss the potential next steps. I'm, again, very approachable. We are very open to those conversations because we've been implementing that for B2B tech brands now for like over a year now, and we have the track record of winning AI overviews, improving the share of voice, improving the visibility in LLMs, and now we can clearly prove it through the both traditional and new gen tools available to us. So putting this all together, now we need to understand that we are dealing with a different tech. LLMs operate differently. They have the memory versus live experiences. They treat the authority through citations and mentions differently than Google. We still have a very strong player in the market. We still have Google as the key driver of traffic, but the zero-click and AI overviews, AI-generated answers on top of search results have changed the user experience on that platform. So the platform itself still remains as a traffic channel or as a brand awareness channel, but the UI and UX on that particular platform has shifted tremendously. So what it means to us, we need to be aware of where we mentioned in AI overviews, and we need to scale it, because those things are pushing our organic visibility way down. And of course, the business impact, the pipeline and traffic attributions, those questions will never go away. They will always be in the stakeholder's mind, and in my mind as a business owner. Okay, so what's next, Liudmila? Now we do have those opportunities to track the leads and pipeline effect directly in our CRMs. So I encourage you to actually, if you're using HubSpot, I think you will be able to see exactly what I showed you today. Not if not in leads, luckily in leads, if not in leads, but in traffic. HubSpot now groups the AI platforms in the attribution channels. So holistically, this is the ecosystem that we are now tapping into. We now have the visibility at our disposal that I'll encourage you to use. And I hope this session, this training was practical and useful. All the tools are available to you for Bertology. We will send you a promo code that you can use to generate the live report, because you spent some time there here with me. So we will give you like a friendly discount so that you can have those reports available to you. I encourage you to set up an account in Amadora and use it right away. The level of insight that I demonstrated is amazing, and those, like the clarity that you can get almost instantly about your brand and how it's presented in AI answers is tremendously helpful, and you can use that knowledge right away. Like in 10-15 minutes, you can already have the initial information. In a few days, you can start building your visibility track over time. And of course, the pipeline, the Google Analytics, again, we still have it, and we still use it in our reports for the projects and the clients we work with. So that's going to be thank you, Nina, that you can use the webinar code for Bertology to use it. And for the holistic overview here, I professionally understand that that's still the very beginning, but the level of insights already available to us is already practical and super helpful and super useful in our work. And I'm very happy to share the framework that we implement, the toolkit that I'm personally using, my team uses every single day with you guys. So before jumping to Q&A, we do have the next series coming up. And the next training will be even a deeper dive into how LLMs understand the world and the brands. And we will be talking about entities, citations, and mentions in very particular detail. I will walk you through what this all means, how you can build a stronger entity for LLMs, how we can track the citations and drive the insights that will affect our content marketing, link building decisions in more detail. And we will look into how the mentions are being built by LLMs, where we stand against our competitors. So we'll be diving very deep into the LLMs and how they understand the brands. So Nina will post the registration link, and we will be sending the recording to you. You'll have an opportunity to register for that webinar as well. But I encourage you, like if that's something that resonates with you, if that's something that you would like to go deeper with, please do schedule that one-on-one conversation with me and Nina. We will be more than happy to walk you through where you stand in your brand in particular. So we still have time. Q&A. Let me get back to the question that Anthony has. Anthony, can you please share more about how to go about the process of redefining those frozen brand descriptions and LLMs? Sure. So the interesting part between the memory and the live environment is that the bad news, you cannot rewrite what's already in there. When you look at the training data, it's indeed frozen and you cannot change that. But knowing the gap, knowing that in that particular frozen environment, you do have outdated positioning, you don't have certain things that happened recently with your brand, you can double down on making sure that those new things appear really high on the very highly visible websites. it's not a secret that LLMs use certain data sets, and you can actually, by leveraging your presence on websites that are more likely to be included into the next training data set, you are actually teaching LLMs about the new things about new things that happen to your brand. In other words, you know that you are misrepresented. You look at the citations from with the live environment where exactly that information was taken from. This is your step number one. If you can change information on your LinkedIn covered page, go ahead and do it. If the About Us page was pulled up and you see like, oh my God, it doesn't really say anything about the product launch, like that page says it, but the About page doesn't, let's do it. Let's add a timeline, or let's add a roadmap of our company development so that we specifically list new things about our brand. And when you look at those citations lists, that's going to be your priority number one to address. And then you can start looking into inserting your brand into highly visible listicles. Amadora is super helpful with that. You'll see those like frequently cited pages in aggregated view, easy targets for the link insertions and link building activities. But also you can think about adding a PR activity and adding some new information about your brand to highly visible sources. One of the things that we implement consistently, we started publishing at least one press release per quarter for all the clients across all our portfolio. Why? We are talking about new things. We are informing the world, and that's not about being included into like Forbes or any like high profile publications. It's all about being out there with the content that's highly visible about our brand, where LLMs can surface and understand, I'm looking at my training data, I'm looking at my frozen memory information, and now I'm looking at the new things. That's what I need to blend in my conversation, but also we are increasing our chances to be represented better with more up-to-date information in the next training cycle as LLMs learn new things about the world. So, and Anthony, I hope that answers your question. If you have a follow-up one, feel free to ask. And also, if anybody has any other questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. We do have some time. That's perfect. Awesome. Happy to hear that. So if any like further questions, follow-up questions, please feel free to type them in or unmute yourself. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it. That's always a pleasure, and I hope to see you on the next ones. And please, do use Amadora. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm just like an email away. So, Kelsey, thank you so much. Good to see you as always. So, if you guys have any follow-up questions, if you'd like to talk to us, you can always schedule a call with me. We will be sending the recording shortly. We will give you more opportunities to interact with us, to sign up for the next webinar that's coming up in 2 weeks from now. And we also have a very helpful resources section on our website where you can get more recordings of the past webinars. Same like AI search topic, I have been giving those trainings for some time, and also the recent blog articles that we have been publishing. They have been a curated content, so I encourage you to check out our website for further resources and information if AI search is of interest to you. And thank you, Nina, for sharing the link. That's where a lot of good content sits, and we are working towards building up that AI search authority, as you can tell. So that's one of the live examples of what you can do for your content and for your brand if you'd like to update or strengthen your positioning for certain aspects of what you do. Reddit citations. Reddit has always been, how to say it correctly, shady in a way as a platform to me as a marketer. Yes, thank you. So there's a lot of, not scam, but indeed the bot traffic, and those discussions sometimes they don't make sense. But what I do see in terms of the LLMs and how they use the Reddit citations, they do filter them against the frozen memory and what other context has been used. So unlike Google search experience, where there is a Reddit citation and Google and Reddit, like, I don't know, merit. So when the Reddit citations block sits so high that they bump the organic search results from other domains way down. On Google, you'll see those discussions, and if you'd like to check them out, you'll click there and you'll go to those discussions. On LLMs, as this is kind of like the aggregated way to present the information, even Reddit will be present in the citations list. Not necessarily it will be actively mentioned or cross-linked in the actual dialogue and the actual response. So for better or for worse, that different algorithm, how LLMs operate, sometimes it plays good role here, because if the Reddit citation or Reddit mention doesn't really look credible or trustworthy, depending on the context of the conversation, it might not have that much weight or that much space or retail space as in Google results. So my take on this: LLMs do see the world differently, and they do understand that the Reddit content exists, but they will use it with the great dependency on the memory knowledge, the prior knowledge that they have, the context of the conversation and the particular dialogue, and also if you have like a paid account or you use ChatGPT very often, they already know a lot about you, so it's going to be also like a personalized flavor on top of that. So to answer your question, like in short, yes, Reddit affects the citations lists in many conversations, and that content is highly visible in this being read by LLMs very often. But the level of how the content is used, or the way that how the content is used in the answers, is very different between Google environment in the AI overviews and the ChatGPT, Perplexity, and more kind of like native AI search environment, if that makes sense. So do we need bots to post fake discussions? If you want to bump up some threads on Google, maybe yes. But if you'd like to be better represented in AI answers, I would avoid creating more noise if that was under my control. Sure, absolutely. And if you guys have any follow-up questions, again, if you'd like to follow up on anything that you have seen or heard, do let me know. I'm here for you, just an email, just a DM away. We will share that recording shortly. Please do join us on the next session. That's going to be even like a deeper dive into how LLMs understand brands and what to do about it. And thank you so much for your great feedback. Thank you so much for your time today. I like openly shared all the frameworks, so you've been into like in my office, in my room, standing behind my shoulder today, and it's always a pleasure for me to do so. So thank you guys again. That's a great audience. Thank you so much for being here.